Let me ask you something most men over 50 have never said out loud. Not to their doctor, not to their partner, maybe not even to themselves. When was the last time you felt like you? I'm not just talking about energy or performance, though we'll get to that. I'm talking about you in the full sense. That confident presence, the sharpness, the drive, the ease with which you once moved through the world. Because for many men I work with, men in their 50s, 60s, even 70s, there's this moment. It's subtle. One day you realize you're not waking up the same. You're not showing up the same. You're not feeling the same. And maybe part of you thinks, well, this must be what getting older feels like. But here's the truth I wish more men knew. It's not just age. That slow, quiet fade you feel, that's often your hormones changing in ways no one warned you about. It's not dramatic, it's not disease, but it is real. And the good news? You can do something about it. I'm Dr. Hannah. I've spent over 30 years helping men reclaim their energy, intimacy, and vitality, not by adding more pressure or pills, but by removing the blockers and giving your body the exact nutrients and habits it needs to fire back up. And in today's video, I want to show you exactly how to do that, starting with 3 hidden deficiencies that quietly rob you of testosterone, blood flow, and drive, and how to turn them into your advantage with one simple daily ritual. So if you felt like something's slipping, your focus, your stamina, your spark, you are not alone, and you are absolutely not powerless. Let's begin with the nutrient most men are shockingly low in, even though it's as simple as stepping outside. Vitamin D, your first key to unlocking lasting energy and better sexual health. Hormones in decline. What happens to testosterone after 50 and why it matters? Let's talk about something most men don't fully understand until it's already affecting them. What actually happens to testosterone after age 50? Because while most guys have heard that testosterone declines with age, very few know what that really means or how deeply it can shape how you feel, think, and show up in the world. Starting around age 30, testosterone begins to decline by about 1% per year. It's slow at first, subtle. But by the time you hit your 50s or 60s, that gradual dip can become a steep slope, and it doesn't just affect your sex drive. Testosterone is a foundational hormone. It supports your energy, your focus, your muscle strength, your mood, even how well your brain functions. When it drops, you might notice you're more tired after doing less. Your workouts don't seem to stick. You might feel more irritable or withdrawn, less clear-headed, less decisive. Maybe you've started carrying weight around your belly that just won't budge, even if your diet hasn't changed. I once had a patient, Mark, 61, who came to me saying, "Doc, I don't feel broken, I just don't feel like me anymore." He hadn't lost his health, he'd lost his spark. And after a simple hormone panel, the answer was clear. His testosterone was 40% lower than it had been in his early 40s. Here's the key insight. This isn't about chasing your 20-year-old self, it's about protecting the man you still are. Because testosterone doesn't just control one part of you, it's woven into everything. Your confidence, your motivation, your intimacy, your sense of power. And when it starts to fade, it doesn't happen overnight. It happens in moments. Moments where you pass on the hike, skip the gym, avoid intimacy, not because you don't care, but because your body isn't responding the way it used to. But here's the good news. This is not irreversible. Your hormones are not gone, they're just waiting to be supported again. And that begins with understanding what gets in the way. Up next, we'll look at the surprising everyday foods that might be quietly sabotaging your testosterone and how to replace them with smarter choices that work for your body, not against it. Vitamin D, the morning habit that reignites testosterone and mood. Let's start with something simple and powerful. Vitamin D. You've probably heard it called the sunshine vitamin, and that's no coincidence. Your body actually makes vitamin D when sunlight hits your skin. But what you might not know is that this humble vitamin plays a huge role in testosterone production and mood regulation, especially for men over 50. Why does this matter? Because as testosterone declines with age, so does your ability to bounce back, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And one of the most overlooked links in that chain is vitamin D. In fact, studies have found that men with higher levels of vitamin D tend to have significantly higher levels of testosterone. Not just total testosterone, but the all-important free testosterone, the kind your body can actually use. I had a patient named Gary, 68. He was doing everything right, eating well, staying active, but still felt sluggish, down, and out of sync. We ran his labs, and his vitamin D was barely registering. Just 15 minutes of early morning sunlight and a simple D3 supplement turned things around. Within weeks, Gary said he felt more alert in the morning, more engaged with his wife, more like his real self. So, what's the takeaway? You don't need to overhaul your life. Just step outside for 10 to 15 minutes in the morning. Let your skin soak in that light. If you live in a cloudy area or spend most of your time indoors, consider adding a D3 supplement. Around 1,000 to 2,000 England University daily is a safe and effective starting point. And don't forget food sources. Salmon, sardines, egg yolks, and fortified milks all give you a boost. Here's the insight. Vitality isn't always about doing more. Sometimes it's about doing the right little thing every day. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for your coffee or open your phone, step outside and let the sun do what it's meant to do. Recharge you from the inside out. Coming up next, a surprising mineral that works hand in hand with vitamin D to power your energy, your nerves, and your sexual performance. Let's talk about B12. B12 deficiency, the hidden energy leak no one talks about after 60. Let's move on to one of the most sneaky and most common deficiencies I see in men over 60, vitamin B12. If you've been feeling more tired than usual, foggy in the head, or just a little off, this might be the missing piece you've never considered. B12 is what I call the spark plug of your body. It helps create red blood cells, which deliver oxygen to every cell, including your brain, your muscles, and yes, even the nerves involved in arousal and intimacy. Without enough B12, your body's entire energy system starts to sputter. Here's the catch. As you age, your stomach becomes less efficient at absorbing B12. A protein called intrinsic factor, which helps your gut absorb this vitamin, naturally declines after 50. So even if you're eating B12-rich foods, your body might not be getting the full benefit. Let me tell you about Edward, 71. He was a retired pilot, sharp, detail-oriented, but recently he felt like he was flying through fog. His wife said he seemed distant. He wasn't depressed, but he just didn't have his usual energy or spark. We checked his B12 levels. They were barely above the clinical cutoff. A few weeks on a sublingual B12 supplement, one that dissolves under the tongue for better absorption, and he was a different man. He said it felt like his brain woke up. His wife noticed too. He was laughing more, engaging more, feeling like himself again. So here's what you can do. Make sure you're getting at least 2.4 micrograms of B12 a day, either through food like eggs, fish, meat, and dairy, or a quality supplement. If you're plant-based, opt for fortified cereals or non-dairy milks, and talk to your doctor about your levels. The insight? Low B12 isn't just a nutrient issue. It's a life quality issue, and it's one of the easiest things to correct once you know what to look for. Next, we'll round out the trio with a powerful antioxidant that supports both your blood flow and your bedroom confidence. Let's talk about vitamin E. Vitamin E, the forgotten fertility vitamin that boosts blood flow. Now let's shine a light on a vitamin that's often overlooked, but can make a real difference in how you feel, especially when it comes to circulation, vitality, and intimacy. I'm talking about vitamin E. Decades ago, it earned the nickname the fertility vitamin, and while the label might sound old-fashioned, the science behind it still holds strong today. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant. That means it protects your cells, including those lining your blood vessels, from damage caused by oxidative stress. Why is that important? Because healthy blood flow isn't just about avoiding heart disease. It's also what makes arousal possible, keeps your brain sharp, and gives you the physical energy to enjoy life fully. Let me introduce you to Jack, 68. He came to me not because of a major health scare, but because he said he felt like he was running on low battery, especially in the bedroom. We looked at his diet, and guess what? He was hardly getting any vitamin E. We made some simple changes: a handful of almonds in the afternoon, sunflower seeds in his oatmeal, and cooking with a little wheat germ oil. Within a month, Jack noticed he had more stamina during walks, and more importantly, he told me, things are working again. That's the power of supporting your circulation from the inside out. Here's the science. Vitamin E helps your body maintain flexible blood vessels and supports the production of nitric oxide, the same compound that allows blood to flow more freely during arousal. It also protects your reproductive cells and helps counter some of the wear and tear that naturally comes with age. Aim for about 15 milligrams per day, which you can get through nuts, seeds, leafy greens, and healthy oils. The bottom line? Vitamin E might not have the flashiest reputation, but it's one of those quiet heroes that keeps you energized, confident, and connected. Coming up next, we'll bring it all together and talk about how to combine these key vitamins into one simple, powerful daily ritual. Let's build your testosterone plate. Lifestyle leverage: sleep, movement, and cooking for hormonal health. Let's step beyond the plate for a moment, because even the best nutrition can only take you so far if your lifestyle habits aren't supporting your hormones. Testosterone isn't just a number on a lab test. It's the result of a system, one that includes how you sleep, how you move, how you cook, and how you care for yourself each day. Let's start with sleep. Most men underestimate its power. But if you're not getting at least 7 hours of quality sleep a night, your testosterone levels will drop, period. In fact, studies show that just 1 week of poor sleep can lower testosterone by up to 15%. One of my patients, David, 63, was eating right and exercising, but still felt flat. Turns out he was only sleeping 5 hours a night and scrolling on his phone before bed. Once we adjusted his routine, no screens an hour before bed, magnesium at night, and a darker room, his energy and libido rebounded in less than 2 weeks. Next, let's talk about movement. Not intense workouts, just movement. Gentle weight training, stretching, or even a daily 20-minute walk helps lower cortisol, your stress hormone, increases insulin sensitivity, and directly stimulates testosterone production. Your muscles are more than for show. They're part of your hormonal engine. And finally, cooking. Not just what you eat, but how you prepare it. Steaming vegetables preserves hormone-supportive compounds like sulforaphane. Sautéing greens breaks down oxalates that block zinc. Using olive oil instead of seed oils reduces inflammation. Your kitchen is more than a place to fill your stomach. It's your daily hormone lab. Here's the big insight. Your lifestyle is your leverage. Sleep is when your testosterone is made. Movement is how it's activated. And cooking is how you nourish it. These aren't chores. They're the rituals that shape how you age. And when they're aligned, everything works better, from your brain to your bedroom. Coming up next, let's pull it all together with a simple blueprint you can use daily: the testosterone plate, a practical way to eat, move, and live with strength, clarity, and confidence. The testosterone plate, your daily ritual to rebuild strength naturally. Let's bring everything together into one simple, powerful daily ritual, something I call the testosterone plate. Because the truth is, your body doesn't need extreme diets or complicated routines. It needs consistency. And what you put on your plate each day can be one of the most powerful tools for rebuilding strength, energy, and hormonal balance, naturally. So, what does a testosterone plate look like? It starts with clean, high-quality protein. Think pasture-raised eggs, wild-caught salmon, or grass-fed beef. Protein is essential for muscle maintenance, hormone production, and steady energy throughout the day. And after 50, your body needs even more of it to fight age-related muscle loss. Next up, healthy fats. Not all fat is created equal. You want the kind that fuels hormone production and lowers inflammation, like avocado, extra virgin olive oil, walnuts, or a few slices of wild-caught sardines. These fats provide the cholesterol your body needs to make testosterone and help stabilize your mood and blood sugar. Now, let's talk veggies, the kind that go beyond fiber and vitamins. Your allies here are beets for blood flow, broccoli for estrogen detox, and mushrooms to protect testosterone from being converted into estrogen. These aren't just healthy, they're hormonally intelligent. And don't forget boron-rich fruits. A small handful of raisins or dates, a few slices of avocado, or even prunes. These help unlock your free testosterone, making the hormones you already have more available and effective. Here's what this could look like in real life. Breakfast could be an omelet with mushrooms and spinach sautéed in olive oil, topped with avocado slices. Lunch? Grilled salmon with roasted beets and a side of broccoli. Add a few dates for dessert. Simple, satisfying, strategic. One of my clients, Walter, 68, committed to just one testosterone plate a day. And in 30 days, he said, "I feel like I got 10 years back." Not because of supplements or prescriptions, but because he fed his body what it truly needed. Here's your takeaway. You don't need a complete overhaul, just one plate, one choice, one ritual that honors your strength. Coming up next, let's talk about how to turn this into momentum with a 2-week challenge that helps you feel results fast. The 2-week reset challenge. Try this and feel the change. So now that you've seen how one powerful meal, your testosterone plate, can support strength, blood flow, and energy, I want to invite you into something simple, but potentially life-changing. A 2-week reset. No gimmicks, no strict dieting, just a real-world challenge designed for men like you, in your 50s, 60s, or beyond, who are ready to feel stronger, clearer, and more like themselves again. Here's how it works. For the next 14 days, you commit to building just one testosterone plate per day. That's it. One meal with clean protein, hormone-smart fats, supportive vegetables, and boron-rich fruits, just like we talked about. It could be breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whatever works for your routine. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Pair that with a few key daily actions: 15 minutes of movement, a walk, some light stretching, or even gardening. Hydration, plenty of water to help your body flush toxins and stay energized. Sunshine, aim for 10 minutes outside in the morning to support vitamin D. And cut back on testosterone blockers, like processed snacks, soy-based substitutes, and excess sugar. Now here's the insight. This reset isn't just about testosterone. It's about momentum. For many of my patients, just 2 weeks of eating with intention, moving daily, and honoring their biology leads to a noticeable shift. More morning energy, better sleep, clearer thinking, and even renewed confidence in the bedroom. One of my clients, Dennis, 63, called it the spark I didn't know I needed. So, are you in? Mark it on your calendar. Invite a friend to join, or drop a comment below. I'm in for the 2-week reset. I'll be checking in and cheering you on. Because this isn't just about nutrition. It's about reclaiming the version of you that still lives inside, strong, vibrant, and fully alive. And this reset, it's just the beginning.